Uproar as New York City's communist mayor announces crippling tax for all homeowners after promising to only go after the billionaires. Yeah, you know what this is? This is the textbook fatal flaw of communism, where all the communists are now like, hey, wait a minute. I voted for you to steal other people's money and give it to me. I didn't vote for you to take my money and redistribute it to someone else. Nah, fuck this shit. I want the free gibs. I don't want to be robbed to be someone else's free gibs. New York is getting everything they voted for, and they get no sympathy. Literally everyone with a functioning brain was telling them this was going to happen, but they knew better. New York's left-wing mayor, Zohran Mamdani, is facing backlash over a sweeping property tax increase that would hit millions of homeowners, despite promising only to make the rich pay more. Hey, guess what? If you own a home, you're basically rich in current year America. You know that, right? Especially if you own a home in New York. Yeah, spoiler alert, you are the rich. So all of your wealth is going to be taken and redistributed to the homeless. Maybe you should vote for your own self-interest next time. Mamdani swept into office in January after a commanding win in November's election on the back of pledges to take on the city's richest residents. And now these rich residents are like, wait, you meant us? Shit. Like, he campaign pledges a flat 2% tax on individuals earning over $1 million. But less than 2 months into his term, the 34-year-old has admitted it might not be as simple as he thought. Look, he knew this from the start. Yeah, but he also knew that once he gets in, it's too late for you idiots to do anything anyway. So he told all of you idiots what you wanted to hear. You listened and believed him instead of all of us who were telling you that he's lying. And now you get to pay the price. And no, we don't feel sorry for you. And no, we're not going to bail you out. This is a you problem now. On Tuesday, he warned he may need to hike property tax rates in New York City by 9.5% to raise money. Mamdani says it's a last resort if the state's governor refuses to sign off on his plan to raise income taxes on the wealthy. In other words, if he cannot hammer the rich with higher income taxes, he's prepared to turn the one lever he directly controls, property taxes. And as we're seeing in California right now, if they do raise taxes on the rich are just going to leave. That would not just hit penthouse owners in Manhattan. The property tax hike would hit 3 million single-family homes, co-ops, and condos, as well as over 100,000 commercial buildings. The mayor even admitted this solution would not only force higher taxes on the wealthy, but also millions of working and middle-class New Yorkers who are wealthy by comparison. Now, if we cannot follow this first path, we'll be forced into a much more damaging path of last resort, one where we have to use only the tools at the city's disposal, raising property taxes and raiding our reserves. Yeah, who could have warned these idiots that this would happen, huh? If only they knew, they could have made an educated vote. Oh, wait, they did know. And the fact that they still voted this way proves they're not really all that educated. As much as they claim to the contrary. Mamdani made the excuse that New York City mayors have little power to raise taxes without approval from the governor. He said that a shitty property tax increase, along with raiding of the city's reserve funds, was the only way to address the impending budget deficit that could reach $5.4 billion in 2 years. There's no such thing as a free lunch, as the saying goes. Got to pay for all that free shit somehow. The second path is painful, he added. We will continue to work with Albany to avoid it. The budget is the first one proposed by Mamdani since he became the mayor, and totals $127 billion, which is $5 billion more than the current budget. The new budget would start on July 1st after the changes and discussions with the shitty council. By law, the shitty must balance its budget, meaning it cannot spend more than it brings in. However, the mayor's first idea for balancing the budget did not seem like the last option. Instead, it appeared to be a way to pressure Shoujo to support his plan to raise taxes on people earning $1 million or more each year. And they're totally not going to leave the shitty and the state. Recently, Mamdani tried not to upset the governor. She is a pro-business Democrat running for re-election this year, and even though they have different political views, they have formed a friendly working relationship. They more like they need to put up with each other, but hey, they deserve each other. The mayor recently supported Hocho's re-election and told supporters he would probably not attend a Tax the Rich rally planned in Albany next week. On Tuesday, he warned that the property taxes might increase. Mamdani also praised the governor for giving New York City more financial help, including $1.5 billion announced Monday for various shitty services. Where did that $1.5 billion come from? Oh, right, from the more rural red counties. So they're basically paying to subsidize the parasites, as always. Even so, the idea of raising property taxes is something that has not happened since Bloomberg was mayor. Upset other shitty leaders, including the comptroller Mark Diovin and the shitty council speaker Julie Menon, who also has influence over the financial budget. Mamdani caused chaos in New York City before he even entered his mayoral role. After his great success in the primary, a growing likelihood of a regressive mayor drove New Yorkers out of the city and into the surrounding suburbs or even other states. Those were the smart ones that got out early, by the way. The ones that are still there waiting, they might get into a situation where they're stuck. And not just because they might, implement controls to stop people from leaving, like fascists often do, but also you might end up Detroit-style stuck. Like you're going to wait out the downturn, and then once you realize the downturn is permanent, that you can't even sell your house anymore because it's only worth $1 and nobody wants it. According to realtors across multiple states, wealthy, shitty dwellers began searching for properties outside the big crapple as Mamdani got closer to office. And now they're going to start invading red cities and red states, and they're still going to keep voting the same way. So be very careful about who you let in. Some explored Westchester, a leafy suburb just outside the shitty. We're absolutely seeing a correlation between Mamdani's surprise win in the Dim Party primary and an uptick in real estate interest in Westchester. No coincidence there. Since the summer, nearly every buyer from the shitty we have taken out to see homes in Westchester has mentioned mayoral election as one of the drivers for shopping in the suburbs. Others look to the the neighboring state of Connecticut, which offers neighborhoods with more right-leaning politics. Greenwich, Connecticut emerged as a hotspot for those bracing for a woke wave from Shitty Hall. Some went as far as Florida. Yeah, house hunting in Palm Beach neighborhood, home of President Orange Man's Mar-a-Lago estate. Indeed, real estate agents thousands in Palm Beach. Okay, I used to meant thousands of real estate agents in Palm Beach notes an uptick in New Yorkers looking to buy homes in the area. And the ones that got out early are also the ones that are able to get the most money for their current homes. Because as everyone starts leaving and no one is coming in to replace them, it's going to get harder and harder to sell their homes. And some of them, like with Detroit, they're going to get stuck. But that's going to be a whole lot of not my problem. That's going to be a them problem. And a lot of them probably voted for this shit too. And now they're acting all surprised. Like, once again, like, hey, I voted to redistribute other people's wealth to me, not to have my wealth redistributed to other people. What is this shit? Give me my free Gibbs.